All right, hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's your girl Dual Goddess and Miss Mac, and welcome to A Pisces Point of View. How y'all doing today? Our video today is speaking and touching on healing and through trauma, and speaking on the algorithms of oppression for us as Black folk in the Black community, Black, brown, and Indigenous people, color folk, the skin folk that like my late lovely co-host, that some skin folk and always skin folk, we gonna talk on it, we're gonna speak on it, go have this
Yes, welcome, welcome,
conversation.
welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. And
Now quick
again, I
story.
just let me, oops,
Quick
sorry.
story, this one deserves, she owe y'all a quick story because technology ain't been her friend today.
Technology today has not been on my side, friends, that it just isn't. So this is like our third attempt on trying to record today. We were supposed to start this at 10 o'clock. It is now 12:24, and we are trying it
Right,
again. Okay,
it
so
is.
just bear with us. Just bear with us. This is the first episode, and we're going to get through it because this is a story to tell. Okay.
Yes.
Now, again, we will be touching bases on the algorithms of oppression and what oppression is and all that good stuff. First, I like to just give you the definition of oppression. That way, we know what we're talking about here. And I'm going to put it up here on the screen for you. Okay. First, we're going to go ahead and do that. So, I know a lot of people will be wanting to know what is oppression.
Oh,
So, what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a full fledged definition of oppression. Okay.
a Webster's
So,
dictionary definition. And then we're going to also speak on what oppression is for us personally in our own lives, our own communities, because we still
right.
suffer from it. Even personally, for as individuals, we are suffering from oppression in our everyday lives.
Exactly. And we don't even like some people just think this is just the way that it's supposed to be. And it's not. It's designed this way, but it's not what it's supposed to be. So at this point, we just really need to know what oppression is. And I'm going to show you right here what oppression is. Oppression is, give me one, and I did not get it. So I'm just going to read it out because it did not come up. Okay, so oppression is prolonged, cruel, and unjust, prolonged, cruel, and unjust treatment or control.
Oh,
Okay, okay, so if you know what that means, then if you ever had some prolonged, cruel, if you ever felt like how you're being treated at work, um, versus your coworkers, and you
mm-hmm.
notice that a certain set of coworkers get better treatment than you. Um, and if you think it's because of the color of your skin, 9 times out of 10, you're right. I can almost promise you that. So, yeah, what you got to say about it?
Let's speak on, for me, oppression in the schools. Growing up, especially growing up in South Florida, which is where I'm from. Hey, hell to the state. But black hairstyles. It was always a very drama filled situation for us as black women, black girls. If we wore our hair a certain way, we were required to change it, or it was uh, phone calls were sent home and letters were sent home to parents. The dress code, and I'm gonna speak on it. A white girl can come to school wearing little shorts on, and nothing will happen to her. But let a black female come to school with the same type of shorts and get this, and leggings underneath. oh, that's too tight. You need to go home and change. She got the same thing on. The difference is, I still got something covering the rest of me. She just bare legged.
Right.
It's a
Right.
form of
Even
oppression within the school system.
right, but even if you just take it a little bit further than that, is it's still oppression. It's also oppression. Excuse me. Let's take some of our Islamic females. You know,
Mm,
um, they're covered from head to toe, and yet they still get that same oppression because that too is not accepted. So what do you
right,
want? You get what I'm saying?
right,
Like, so it's to conform to what you want us. Like, we're not robots. We're not doll babies. We're none of that. We have our own minds, our own way of how we want to look before you even came along. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
the fact that you want us to look this specific way is funny to me. It's crazy because,
It's not even
um,
that. It's the fact that you require us as Black, brown, and indigenous people to look a certain way while you do not require the same of white people.
right,
That's where the oppression truly sets. It is the difference, that the blatant differences that you set, and then you'll say, well, racism isn't a thing anymore. Where? Oppression,
right,
y'all aren't oppressed anymore. That was y'all ancestors. Lie. Show me where that's evidence. Because everything that is still happening today says otherwise.
right. Like for instance, I actually was having this conversation. Well, it was a back and forth on TikTok, in a converse in like a comment section, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was the video, it was about this lady who she um she felt the need to voice for people not to come to interviews smelling of marijuana. And
Uh-huh.
and at the end of the day, well, it was a comment that was made about, oh, it's embarrassing. So I
And
made the
who was it geared towards though? Because let's be real, like,
us. It was geared towards
right,
us.
we're
Right.
not the only ones that come, and hell, half the time we ain't even
Wait,
the
wait,
first ones.
wait. Let me say. So, in one of the comments, someone stated how it was embarrassing to do this or whatever the case may be. So I comment, embarrassing to who? Right?
Right.
Because for me, I don't understand how, let's just say me. Let's just say I walk in and I smell like weed or whatever the case may be, coming to get a job or whatever. Who am I embarrassing? I knew at the end of the day, if I was the one that was partaking in the weed, smoking, I know if I didn't see anything on me or my clothing in some sort or change my clothes before I came to this interview, I knew that 9 times out of 10 I was going to be reeking of the marijuana. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? So, to who is it embarrassing? Why would you say automatically it's an embarrassment? Two, for me, it's, oh, and then in the video she was like, do you really think I'm gonna hire you knowing that you're high and this, then third, whatever. And so I made another comment like, it's crazy how I said it's the judgment for me. Because one, yeah, I may come in here smelling like it or whatever the case may be. Do you know how many politicians, police officers, doctors, teachers, all this stuff that you understand what I'm saying? It's like, you're not gonna hire me because you think I can't do the job, but yeah, all these other people that got the job are doing it. Like, really? Like, don't count me out. You get what I'm saying? Because
Right.
of what I choose to do. You understand? I
Uh,
was like, it's the
my
judgment for
point.
me.
Right. It ain't even just a judgment. It's is oppression of the marijuana because a person can walk in thinking to high hell of cigarettes, but you gonna hire that motherfucker, and you don't think that should be embarrassing?
Exactly.
That's nasty. Your breath stink. Your teeth probably ain't been brushed in however long because no. But you gonna hire that person? You think they're gonna do the job better than me and my
But
marijuana?
then but then we have the flip side of this. How many people that, they probably this job is meaning the world to them right now. They got to have this job, and the person that they getting a ride from, maybe they don't even have their own vehicle, but the person that they getting a ride from, maybe in the car, not giving a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? Get it
Right.
how you
Their
get it
car
now.
could
Like
just, yeah,
it's
it's
the
just how their car
judgments for
smells.
me.
Right.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know these people's situation. You just automatically assume just because they may smell like weed that they the ones getting high, that they the ones doing this and they the ones doing that or whatever. When Mr. Manager over here is around the corner, or Mr. Police Officer, every time he ain't got no call on his radio, he over there in the back of the woods or whatever doing a line. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on. Let's
My
call it
thing
what it
is,
is.
don't sit up here and talk your shit about somebody walking in smelling like marijuana. Here's my thing: when you sitting there as the interviewer smelling like cigarettes, I'm offended. Shouldn't you be embarrassed? Don't
Like
try me.
why
Older is older.
who's embarrassing? Who's who?
Older is
Like,
older. If you're gonna be embarrassed about something, be embarrassed about the fact that you have an odor. Period.
right, right,
Cleanliness when you're coming to an interview. Prepare yourself for the best to put your best foot forward. But don't sit up here and try to call out specifically marijuana users and to be so blatant about it to make it, oh no, I'm specifically speaking to the black people that smoke weed.
right,
Because I guarantee that white person that's gonna come in there smelling like that same weed still gonna get that interview, still
right.
gonna
Still
get
gonna
that
get the
hire. They're
job.
gonna get the opportunity to prove themselves. But you're gonna automatically write us off for the same shit. You will not write your own people off on. Don't try it because I'm gonna come for you,
Right,
and you really ain't gonna be ready for my shit.
right. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Like, like,
I,
and then they was like,
I,
oh, a hit dog will holler. I was like, I do the hitting, baby. I do the hitting. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't first of all, don't
right.
try to come for me. At the end of the day, don't try to come for me.
A
My
hit dog
thing
gonna
is,
holler, and a goddess is gonna fry your ass. Don't play with me. What you mean? That fire all day long. I love it. Don't play with me. I ain't gonna holler. I'm gonna just what's that? That waiting to exhale. Call it a day, baby. Let's
right,
not.
right. You
I
was
mean, it's the sad fact that you didn't even make that statement towards all people,
right.
anybody that's
It was geared.
smoking.
You can tell that it was geared towards black people. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
And
because
then
the
you'll
way
turn around and say, "Oh, I'm not racist. I'm not trying to
no, it
oppress
was a black.
anyone."
It was a sister who made the post.
Oh,
Who
oh,
made the video or
that's
whatever,
that's interesting.
and that's why I was like,
Again,
well,
that also we back to my oppression in our own community conversation.
right,
Oppression in our own
right,
community conversation. Because like I said, you're not going to deny that interview to a white person who smells like weed because your bosses is gonna have a problem with you,
mm-hmm,
sister. But you're going to deny your own people. The same
yep,
opportunities that you give to another, you should be offering to your own. I
yep,
understand having the standards and whatnot, but hold those standards accountable for everyone. There needs to be a standard across the board. The oppression towards us as colored folk, the oppression towards us as women is
Mm-hmm.
it's enough that we get it from others. Don't sit up here and bring it into our own community, into our own feminine energies. Be one with your people.
Mm-hmm.
We get enough oppression from the outside, motherfuckers. Quit oppressing your own.
Right. Stop trying to make us fit into this box. Like everyone is not made to fit into one box. You know what I mean? Like I.
Right.
Mm,
Because let me tell you how edibles, I ain't gonna smell like nothing. Not a thing. But you gonna say so? You gonna I
exactly.
guarantee you won't notice nothing on me.
Right.
I guarantee my
Exactly.
eyes don't slant. I don't get crazy. Baby, try again. Don't sit up here and try to make it seem like those that smoke weed are the problem. Because I guarantee that weed smoking person has more qualifications than you as the interviewer for that
Exactly.
job.
Exactly. Facts. Facts. I agree. I totally agree.
Because they're very educated people, and they smoke marijuana. They do their edibles. But you
Hmm.
over there with your judgment, tell me something, sweetie.
But we forgetting about
Have
the,
you not?
and we're forgetting about the other people and the other extracurricular activities that they may be doing.
Right.
I'm
That be
not gonna
my
call them out. I'm
thing.
not gonna
What
call
have
them out. I'm
you
gonna stick
done?
to the weed. I'm gonna just
Right,
stick to the weed.
because
I'm not
she
gonna
she gonna
say
stick to the weed, and I'm gonna
right.
say about that same interviewer who's sitting up there going in their car and a couple lines while you talking about a
Right.
goddamn gone weed smoker. You over
Right.
here with your little angel dust and whatnot. Oh, don't play with me. I will come for you. Your opioids. You up there? Oh, this is a prescription. My doctor gave this. I have tooth pain or I had surgery. Uh huh. Yeah, 6 years ago.
I,
6 years ago. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I'm
You
not gonna.
same
I'm not
folks
gonna
that's
touch it.
coming in there.
I'm not going there. I'm not
She's
going
not
there with
gonna
you.
touch it. She's not
I'm
gonna
not
go
touching it. I'm
there.
not going
But
there with
it's
you.
the truth. But it's a factual truth. Y'all are up here talking about those that smoke marijuana. Meanwhile, y'all are addicted to hard drugs that are killing people. Make it make sense.
I'm not.
And those are legal. These are legal drugs that are prescribed to you from your doctors.
Everyone is not prescribed those type of
Yes, they're not.
narcotics.
Everybody is not. You correct. But these little heifers that be the main ones talking,
I
they
don't see.
start
I'm
off with
not
a
gonna put.
prescription.
I'm not gonna even put those people in the same box as the ones that just choose to do it just to get high. I can't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna touch it because there are some that they thought they was trying to get well and ended up down this path
And right,
versus someone that's
but
making the
it's
choice to be
somebody
like,
who
nah, that's what I'm doing.
you know there is nothing wrong with you. Sweetheart, you know that the problems that are going on in your life are caused by you, but you'd rather escape and use scapegoats, i.e., blaming everybody else around you for the issues you are going through and becoming your own oppressor. Because let's be real, some people out here just oppressing their damn selves.
Yeah,
It's,
I mean,
it's a sad truth. It is a sad truth. It is a factual truth, though. And I understand, for those that, I've been oppressed my whole life by others. I don't know anything else but this way of life.
it's a form
The,
of conditioning. I think so much when you're conditioned to think a certain way, then that's how you think. I don't know if that's just accepting the fact that you're oppressed. You get what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
think that that will
Mhm.
be more so of a, oh, I've been oppressed all my life, so I might as well keep being oppressed. I don't think that's, you know,
But for
the
those that,
narrative. But
right, for those
I
that
think,
do, they do it to, for those that do it to themselves in a manner of, let's say, okay, not necessarily saying for those that, okay, this is my way of life. This is how my mother treated me and my father treated me. Speaking in for myself, for those that I've seen personally, people who grew up not knowing that type of lifestyle, having the best given to them, being loved, being given things and to them that would to me should create a better self esteem, self awareness, and whatnot of who the love that you should have for yourself. That again, this is
and I'm
to
gonna paint
me.
you another. I'm gonna paint you a picture. I'll paint you another picture.
And
Okay.
this is for me. But for those that they find a reason, and I cannot, I love everybody. I do. I love everybody until you make me not love you. You find a reason to oppress yourself, all because you're lacking or you want something and it's not of coming to you in the way you want, or you feel like, oh, I am owed this. But I, go ahead and get your point, because I'm just, for me personally, I don't get it. I don't. And I don't, you may have to explain it to me in a way that's going to make me understand it, because I don't. I do not.
Okay. So you feel that from the outside, and you're always gonna be the out on the outside looking in. Okay.
Yes.
So you're going to paint this picture of what you think it is. That's one. When And I'm gonna tell you why you shouldn't think of it that way.
Come on, give it
You
to me.
don't know what's going on behind closed doors. All you see is the aesthetics on the outside. All you see is, oh, you have someone may be living in a nice house, someone may be driving a nice car, someone might have the great job, the the kids, the pictures, all the pictures are pretty on the wall, the husband, all that good shit. You get what I'm saying? But
All
when
right.
that door closed, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It might be
And to
all
me, it's
hell.
not
It might be all hell going
right.
loose in that home. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So
But
so
I'm speaking from, yes, from the outside, but from the outside is that person. I'm speaking from personal experience of, we live together. That your outside is your inside was my inside. Like
but
we are
still
extremely
you can't even base it off of that. You can't, because no two people are the same. You get what I'm
true.
saying? So,
Yeah.
and the way that I saw things, like I said before to you, I think it was you. You can have you can have six people in a room. You get what I'm saying? And somebody come in and rob the room, and then the police come and question all six people. They all gonna give a different version as to what happened. So you can't be like, oh well, because we grew up the same or whatever, then our life was the same. It's not. You get what I'm saying? Everybody has their own view of what the hell happened, and how they felt, and how they, how things went in the home. So
All right.
you can never base it off of that.
That's why it's called what? A point of view. From my point of view, I'm confused as
Right.
to what in the hell is going on with you. We sitting right next to each other. What the hell you mean you saw him shoot Johnny first and then he shot Mary? Mary was the one that got shot first. What are you talking about? I'm sitting right here next to you. But you only
But
saw
if
Johnny got shot because whatever the
right,
reason
because
was, that's
what if
what.
right, because what if the person came in that did the shooting, right? But I was down tying my shoe when all the commotion happened, and I happened to look up, and the first thing I'm gonna see is Johnny getting shot, not Mary. You get what I'm saying? So I'm, regardless of
Right.
what you saying, I know what the hell I saw. You get what I'm saying? So you can't be like, well, we all was in the same room, so we all should have the same story. Hell no, we all shouldn't have the same story, because what I saw you may not have seen. What I have may have saw was another man running behind the back. You get, and you ain't know that. So my ass was up under the damn desk so to hide, because we already got this motherfucker down. I know, you get what I'm saying? So you
Right.
can't be like, oh, we all was in the same room, so we all should have the same perspective on how life should be. Absolutely not.
I say that often because even with my siblings, like I say it often. We grew up in the same household. Mind you, I'm the eldest of five, and the age gaps are real because it goes from me at about to be 32, gorgeous, to 19. No, she just turned 18. Oh God, don't tell I said that. But the age range is in between those into that gap. So I was out of the house before three of my siblings were gone. And they were
Mm-hmm.
still in grade school, middle school, stuff like that. They weren't even in high school yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's like, in my mind, from where I grew up with my sister that's right behind me, like we're only a year apart. We grew up in the same situation. We did a lot of things together. A lot of our childhood, it was always together. Like
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a family where if three of us have a birthday in the same month, they celebrate everybody's birthday at one time.
Right,
There ain't no
right.
individuality.
Ain't
No,
nobody got
there's no
time. Ain't
individualness.
got time for that. Right.
Right? Like the whole family is there. Yes. Okay, this month is for these three girls, or this for these four boys, or whoever. It was always like that. It was the same for me and my sister right behind. We were always kind of like matchy matchy. And don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, it was so cute. It was cute. But growing up, going into adulthood, the differences between how what she felt like her point of view of what we went through versus my point of view of what we went through. I constantly get from my siblings, and they can talk shit all they want because I don't care because they say it to me often. You the favorite. She always count on you. She always do this for you, and I be like, wait, what? Where? She called me because I'm the oldest, and apparently I'm supposed to be responsible for all you mofos. So, what you talking about? How am I the favorite? How am I? Well, she used this, that, and the
Mm-hmm.
third for her, this, that, and the third. Yeah, but how often is that without my knowledge? Just what you talking about, homie? I just
Right.
did it. I'm on the
But
inside
that's
looking
her point of view.
out.
That's how she sees it.
Right. But I'm on the inside looking
Right.
out
But
like,
that's why I
what
said,
the hell? So for me, I don't understand. I get it. I just don't agree with what the I don't agree with the oppression, the self oppression. It's too much for me. And it could be my high headedness because I'm a Pisces, but I fall on the cusp. So I got a bit of that Aries energy.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I can get a bit fiery. And
So you don't.
I
So
have
you
learned.
feel. So you feel that someone's self esteem is their self esteem, and no one else has a role in that.
No, that I don't. When
Okay.
it comes down to self esteem, that's something it's not taught enough, especially in the Black community. I wish
Mm-hmm,
it was taught enough. I wish it was encouraged enough that if to speak on it, to speak on the
mm-hmm,
fact that for me, my self esteem levels are here
mm-hmm,
versus my sister next to me whose self esteem level is she just thinks she the motherfucker shit.
mm-hmm,
She got it. It is what it
mm-hmm,
is. But self esteem is something that is both inner learned and outer learned through experiences in life. And I understand that part.
mm-hmm.
And I don't I try not to, rather, I should say, come down too hard on those who I know have low self esteem. And this is me personally, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel I don't want to make anybody feel like shit. So, and that way, like, I do oppress myself on sharing my opinions because I don't like to make anybody feel any worse than they already are.
Hmm.
And that sometimes come at a deficit to myself because I'm not being wholly true to me or to speaking my truth because I'm afraid of hurting somebody's feelings because I'm a
But
sensitive
it's not
soul.
what you say, it's how you say it. If you if you if
Girl,
you
I have
know,
had
mindful.
conversations with people where I'm like this, like, you know, I just want to have a conversation with a full kind of disclosure. I'm uncomfortable with this. And then I get immediate, whoa, you uncomfortable? You uncomfortable? Oh my God, why are you why are you getting so rowdy? I'm just like this. Like my
Hmm.
eyes, I'm not even making eye contact. When I say I will get fall into a submissive mode to avoid from hurting somebody's feelings, and I am not submissive at all.
Let me tell you what well, one time I'm gonna tell you a story about me and my man.
Story time.
And he I had caught him doing some shit, right? And
Mhm.
I knew that if I had mentioned it in the house, he would try to get rowdy, right? Now, I don't give a fuck if you get rowdy. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I'm gonna go toe to toe with your ass. Like, what the fuck you want to do? He can't beat me. I'm gonna say that. But
Yeah.
exactly.
Rum, bum, bum,
But
bum.
I was like, okay, let me try to approach this in a different way, so that we don't even have to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
want answers, but if I come at him in a nasty way, I already know I'm not gonna get answers.
Right. You're
Also,
gonna get the peace mode.
if I come at him and where he's comfortable, then it can also go left, right?
Right.
So I said, I found out the information that night, so I waited till the morning, and I said, let's go to breakfast.
Right. Neutral ground somewhere
And
that we just neither one of us got attachments to
right,
this thing.
well, I don't care because I still fuck some shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just in me to do. But I was like, just to, I'll probably think twice.
Right.
Here in these people restaurant. So we went to breakfast.
Right.
And I brought it up to him. I was like, I said what I had to say. I'm always going to start something off with, I'm going to start it off nice. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I'm going to start a conversation off with, hey, I have an issue. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him about it and he talked to me about it. And I was like, okay. And I called the girl while we was in the restaurant and everything. And, you know, and that was
Okay.
that. Like, but it worked. My thing
Right.
is it worked. It eliminated a big blow up. You get what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it kept us both calm. It kept us, kind of on a level head or whatever the case may be. Because I know me, and the moment I feel like you even about to pop off, I'm popping off. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and I didn't want that at that moment, at that particular day. I wanted to be peaceful that day, so I chose
Right.
a different
She
route.
chose peace instead of violence.
Yes, that
And
day.
see, right, that day. See, I often try to choose peace. I often do until you push my buttons, and then I'm choosing violence. But I always try to come at things with with the intent of peace and coming to a resolution. And whether it be
I
in
don't know if
public,
I'm coming from a place of always peace, but I'm always coming from a place of resolution. Now, how you like the resolution may not be up for discussion. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm always here for the resolution.
right? And
Sometimes I may not be
yeah,
peaceful.
for me, I do. I am. Because I'm such a normally as a goofy as hell type of person. I'm always in. Okay, I'm feeling some type of way, and I want to speak on it. and I want to speak to you about it. Can we have the conversation? I will
But
ask.
how do
That's
you?
me. I'm gonna ask.
But when you're dealing with, like, we're looking at it from, like, a family or a friend point of view. You understand what I'm saying? But
All right.
in seriousness, when you take that and you try to pull that outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you handle that? That's the oppression that really be fucking us up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because
For me, like especially in like the workplace, having any issue with your upper management, having to have that conversation with your supervisor, you made me
mhm,
feel uncomfortable.
mhm. For the most part, for me, in workplace, working for this, you know, ever me, I I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna say this. I something clicked where I can't work for this no more. You get what I can't do this. And even when I try, I be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna apply for this.
I'll make that
I
money.
can't. Right. I'm gonna just go and make that money. It's like, yeah, no. For me, it's a no for me. Like, I'm trying to figure out my avenues so that the revenue comes in for me without having to deal with this. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I'm just type of person. I'm not gonna keep begging nobody that's benefiting from doing what they doing to me. I'm not gonna beg
All
you to
right.
stop beating me. I'm gonna start
All
fighting the
right.
fuck back.
All
You get
right.
what I'm saying? So for me, I can't do that. I can't.
All right.
You get
And
what I'm saying? Like,
for me, not
I'm trusting God. For me, I'm trusting God
right.
to see me through this until
There you
I
go.
get to where I need to be. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so far, even though a lot of shit has come up and it's like, okay, what next? You know what I'm saying? I'm not panicking
Right. That's
because I'm still.
I understand that.
But when it comes to working or dealing with them, the oppressor themselves,
And
mm,
see, like you see this pattern, right? You see this pattern I have. I
uh-huh,
serve. I serve my country. So when I speak on oppression from my point of view, it's from a point of view of a former female African American soldier.
it's
There are
very
things
real.
I get that I can't
I
speak
applaud you.
on
I tip my
because
hat. I tip my hat. But at the end of the day, I'm not fighting for this country. I wouldn't. I would never. And I'm sorry. Thank you for y'all
right.
who chose that. If it was a choice or if it was I had to, thank you. But fuck out of here. Get
See,
the fuck
for
out of
me,
here.
it was honestly, and I just said this conversation with my little sister the other day. Like, it was a choice for me because I like to travel. I want to see the world. But
Mm-hmm.
coming from the home that I came from, it wasn't the immediate opportunity for me.
Mm-hmm.
My immediate opportunity was college or military, college or military, and I wasn't ready for college because I didn't know what I wanted to do coming straight out of high school. Honestly, who the hell does know what the hell they want to do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people do. Let's be real. Those some that say they do really don't. They'll been on switch major 6 different times before they figure the shit out. But
Right.
I knew for a fact that I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had a generalization concept of what direction I wanted to go in, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I chose the military. It was a family thing. A lot of my family members are service members or for former service members.
My grandfather was. I have a lot of family members that are and were, but no, I'm not. No, you're not gonna put me in jail because I quit my job. Get the fuck out of here. No.
But and that was the thing, like, and I'm gonna speak on it because it is my fucking truth. My exit out of the military was shady as shit. I never got in trouble. I didn't have any write-ups or anything like that. I had my son
Mhm.
damn near as I known and I got in. I ended up pregnant with my son about a year into my service time. I was a single mom, like taking care of my kids. I go to work, I go home, I come to
Mhm.
PT in the morning. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I mind my business because
Mhm.
skin folk. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to ruffle any feathers. I'm not trying to get into any drama. I just want to be left alone and deal with whomever I choose to deal with. Like, respect my boundaries. The fact that I'm not looking to open up to everybody is not a requirement. But it was a
Mhm.
problem for some people that I wasn't what do you call it, sociable, and invite people over to my house. I
Mhm.
don't know you. I don't know
Right.
you folks. And at that time, I was like, I'm 20 years old. Stranger danger. I still remember that. Like, it's a fresh
You should
memory in
still
my mind.
have stranger danger.
Girl, yes, stranger danger. Let's be real. Like, you don't invite everybody to your house. That is something that is widely known for those in the Black community. You don't invite everybody over to your house. You don't know
Mhm.
what their intentions are, but it was apparently a problem that I wasn't sociable. And I was, to me, I injured myself when I first got in. I messed
Mm.
up my ankle when I first got in and I was in basic training, but I didn't know it. So I was still running on a fractured ankle. Oh yeah, it was
Mm.
so fun. It was painful. It was so fun. But when I finally got diagnosed, I got put on a permanent PT profile and I was still able to continue my service time.
Mhm.
That became a problem. Even though I'm going to my doctor's appointment regularly, my doctors are even like, no, she's not going to be able to run. This is just, she's being checked out yearly. Like,
Mhm.
it's not like I'm just making this up. This is coming from the medical professionals, not from me.
Mhm.
But it was a problem apparently. And I get it. We're all able bodies. They want able bodies. I understand that. But I was an able body I was a desk jockey. I was HR. What am I doing that needs to be involved me trying to run and shoot?
Because
And it's
the
like,
because at the end of the day, regardless of even if you are someone who sat behind that desk, if they needed you in that field, you at the end of the day, you first line any fucking way.
no,
So
incorrect.
yeah.
We are not. No, incorrect. We are not first line. As a matter of fact, when you look at the order of who gets sent in where first, Army is not it. And I was Army. When you look at who gets sent out first,
Yeah, but if you, but
only
that, I
time
mean,
where,
I get, no, no, no. I get what I get how it
yeah,
may
but I'm
go
saying, like,
if it's just,
only time, no, even in the war zone, only time for me as HR where I would have had to be involved in frontline things is if the base that I was on was under direct attack. I
exactly.
was
So
still
at the end,
able to do
right.
that though. My thing was
How?
I was still able to do that. I was still qualifying with my weapon. I still had my training. I still went through all the training. Only thing it was I can't run your PT mile. My doctor
Mm-hmm.
never said at any point in time if something were to happen that she can't run at all.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an emergency issue, they understood, and I can only do about so far.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is It was not just a problem of my running. After I had my son, I dropped the weight. I
Mhm.
went and I was doing my pregnancy PT and everything, and I dropped the weight.
Mhm.
But I'm a black woman. Curves form differently after having a child.
Mhm.
Some weight does not always leave.
Mhm.
I'm still in the required weight limit for my height and weight. I'm not busting tape, but it's a problem. Oh, you're too big. What's too big? What you looking at? Because I don't know why your eyes are even down there. This is uncomfortable for me. but we can have conversations where it's so we think that this isn't working out. We don't know what's going on. You seem to be resisting getting off your profile. The doctor told y'all he wasn't taking me off the profile.
But I would look at it
Well,
like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna look at it like this. You may see it as shady, right? But what if it wasn't shade, and what if it was just God helping you along your journey, so that that's not what you had to do in order for you to
I
travel?
can't, and here's why I can't. I can't look at it like this way, that way, because
Well,
it was blatant sexual harassment for me. It was, it was
hold
sex.
on,
I
hold
was
on.
going.
I'm sorry, but what I okay. Listen,
For
I get
those
what you're
that
saying, and I
just,
hold on. But wait. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not saying that how it ended up, like what took place, was going to be smooth. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
But look at the whole situation. If I would say, I mean, I'm always going to look at it as, okay, I went through that or whatever. I really wanted to do this or whatever, but it didn't work out. Hmm. Even though it could have been blatant or whatever, maybe that could have been just you seeing, okay, how blatant it was for you not to be able to have to do what you wanted to do, what you thought was right in order for you to travel. You get what I'm
But
saying? Like,
no, I get that, but that's not what I'm speaking on.
okay.
Because it was like I said, it was my exit out that was the problem. It
Mm-hmm.
was because, and it was for me, it was because of I was young, and a lot of people that were around me were unfortunately. I was young and beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. I know my beauty. I am not shallow or conceited at all. But I was very young. I was very beautiful. But I was to myself, and I
Mm-hmm.
chose who I wanted to date. When I got
Mm-hmm.
pregnant with my son, it was an immediate attack. Who you been sleeping with? Whose business is this? This is from my sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? How are you pregnant? Why are you pregnant? Who you been with? Wait, what? I'm like at a loss for these things. Mind you, I don't have any preference when it comes down to dating. I date all
Mm-hmm.
race for me. And that's just for me.
Mm-hmm.
At that time I had previously been dating a white guy, and it was
Mm-hmm.
made known very clearly that I wasn't a good fit for him. What have I done? I was just like, I'm new here. I haven't even done anything yet. Like, I straight out of training, have not done anything. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
What fit? Fit? A good fit? What does that mean? Make it make sense. So then I started sticking to my folks. If I'm not a good fit, then okay, fine. I'm gonna stay in my lane, right? Stay in my lane. Skin folk, we gonna kick it how we want.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna do what we do. But not for you to come at me 19 at the time. Who you been with? I'm sorry, what? That's my private time. That's my personal business. I'm not married.
But that's another reason why I couldn't. But that's another reason why I couldn't do the whole. Because if you look at this, like, okay, Lord, listen, because a lot of it just like.
and unfortunately, it's not like, it's sad to say my type of story isn't
No, because I mean,
an uncommon story. It is
right, but
quite common
this is why
for
I say
scapegoats.
never. I said never could to the government because it's like all of the laws that the federal government has set up for the average American, working American, they don't go by those same rules. So
It
ain't no
don't apply
goddamn
to us.
way. There ain't no fucking way. You see what I'm saying? Like make
Right.
that they able to make that shit make sense. Then come see me. But we can't even get on the same page of how you treat an employee. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I got these rules over here, but you ain't got no rules over here. And it's the whole and is y'all covering both ends of it? Oh fuck no, I'm good.
Right. Or you
You get what
making
I'm
up rules on
saying?
the fly as you go. Like, wait, that's not in the rule book. Why are you applying this rule
Exactly.
to me that it's not in the rule book? Oh, well, this is specifically because of what we've had to go through.
I don't
With
got time for that. And
who?
that's another
Because
reason why
it was with
I can't work for this. That's why I can't work for this
me.
either. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't have time to keep every time I feel disrespected looking up your code of conduct book versus the fucking federal laws and seeing if you
Right.
following I don't have time. You get what I'm
My
saying?
issue
And
was like, you can't even file a report. Nothing happens. This person is confronted. It's let known
that's
to
what I'm
them
saying.
that,
That's what I'm
oh, such
saying.
and
I don't
such
understand
filed
why
a
you feel
report
some
on
type
you.
of way. Why do you feel some
I
type of way?
feel I feel some type of way because it shouldn't be a this shouldn't
It
happen.
shouldn't. It
And the only
shouldn't.
way it's
It
going to
shouldn't.
change is if it's brought to the light, if it's brought up more often, if it's demanded. Like you said, you can't take when you're in the military. You don't
Mm,
have that luxury in the military,
mm.
but
Yeah,
you can demand change.
but then at the same time, I look at it like this: you have people like, okay, you wanted to travel, and there's probably a few more that may have felt the same way. You get what I'm saying?
Some for
But then it's
education, for
like,
money,
right,
right?
at what cost though? You get what I'm saying? Because either way, like at what cost do you turn your life over to someone that has already showed you they ain't give a fuck? Like what else are you willing to lose?
But that's the same way I say about at what cost do we keep going back to don't cancel us Christianity? Because I, my own experience, have not had any type of positive outcome from it. I have seen people be shamed. I have seen people be blasted. Hell, I have myself been uh not necessary. I have been frowned upon
I'm not gonna lie.
being a woman who was not married but already had kids. My mother was frowned upon being a young woman who had kids as a teen while she was still in school. It's always the frowning upon people, the things that are said in the church, but people constantly run back to it. Your abuser, your oppressor. You're gonna continue to run back to it. I understand you saying at what cost, but for some people, the cost is not detrimental enough for them not to do it. I hadn't had a negative experience when it came down to the thought of the military. My family, like I said, had been in the military. I had family, cousins, uncles, whatnot, who were high ranking in the military, officers, sergeant majors. Like they were high ranking in the military. It's not to say that their experience to start was not terrible, but that wasn't what was portrayed to me. And then I was ROTC throughout high school. I didn't have any negative reaction, interaction when it came down to the military for me. Because everything that was shown to me was, let's give you what, like you said, the facade. Let's show you the positive end to get you in the door.
Yeah, so you can come out and build refrigerators and such. I mean, hey, for me, it's for me. It was like, yeah, it's a hard no. Like I said, my grandfather, he fought in World War II. I have cousins. You know, I have people that serve, and I know I have many friends that have served too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, nah. And being that I know how old my grandfather was, I know for a fact it wasn't because he wanted to serve in the military. My grandfather was
drafted.
My grandfather 9 times out of 10 was drafted. You understand what I'm saying? Like, or he was fighting for what's that freedom or some sort or whatever.
Right.
You know, like that's how
like
old my grandfather.
What was it? What was the movie? What was the movie? The new movie. Will Smith. Emancipation.
Mm-hmm.
Was not really an ask. It was, these are your only two options.
Right. Right. So for me, military was not is for me personally, I think that military always and will be it's okay, it's a pick your poison type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Stay on the streets. Hold on. Hello.
We good? He good?
Yeah,
all right.
He good.
Okay.
I heard a thump.
Right, I heard that too. I was just, peacefully praying with my bowl. Come on.
Okay, for those of you who are trying to find out what's going on, my significant other about a month ago, actually it'll be a month tomorrow, had a fall and had a seizure the next day, and I just been on edge ever since. So yeah, anything that I hear, I'm gonna stop and listen and try to figure out what's going on. But back to what we were saying.
Take care home first. Hey.
But for me, it's just, like I said, I have those people that it's a pick your poison. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not it's always an escape. You know what I'm saying? Like, or it's always a have to at the end of the day in my book, because let's just say, like you said, you have family members that was in the military or whatever the case may be, and some people like, it's an honor, I want to follow. But then it's not you have to, because now everyone is looking at you like, how dare you not do it? You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm not even like my son.
I get that.
One of my sons is thinking about going into the Air Force.
No, because my mother was the same. I was 17 when I joined, when I signed up. My mother had to sign it. She was not for it. I had to have a family member who was active duty come and speak to her in order to get her to sign those papers.
But now do you see the reason why she was giving you the pushback?
Yes and no. Yes, because I understand the part of, what women go some women go through, the assaults and stuff like that. No, because she also brought up sexuality, because at that time she did not know that her child was very much not for the one gender, is the only gender for me. I'm proudly bisexual, proudly pansexual, demisexual, and polyamorous. Don't put labels on me that you don't even know what you're speaking of. I love you. Don't oppress me. Don't oppress my sexuality. That was my all the issues, like oppressing my sexuality. Can we not do that? But and that's a recent thing that they just kind of somewhat got done away with the military oppressing people's sexuality. But here's the next thought, how do we move forward? How do we start the healing through those types of traumas, through oppression and whatnot? Like
You
where
have
does
to,
the healing start?
for me, I think, and I think I said this earlier, you have to change the narrative to things. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for me, I don't. I'm over all the marching, all the uh, I'm over that, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't got no more march in me. I don't. For me, I don't think that's what my ancestors want me to do. You get what I'm saying? So I ain't marching. I'm being honest.
You ain't
Like
protesting, no
I'm
protesting. I'm
more.
coming to the protest.
I'm more leaning towards. I'm not. I'm no longer in my MLK stage. You get what I'm saying? And
Right,
I'm not saying that. Look, I celebrated him yesterday. You get what I'm saying?
right.
And every and I think about him, and I'm grateful for him coming
Paving
along.
the way. Uh-huh.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I will never discredit. You get what I'm saying? But I think that I'm just now at a different level of
Right.
standing up for my people.
Right.
For
And I'm
me,
done with sitting down as well. Like, no
right.
disrespect to Miss Parks, Miss Rosa Parks, but it's time for a new journey of healing to begin. And the next step, how are we
We're
taking our
ever
next
gonna be
step?
I don't I don't think it's more so that we need to be focused on the healing portion right now. We got in order for us to heal or to even start living in a place of, abundance in that sense.
And wellness. Hmm.
We gotta take care of the wound first. You understand what I'm saying? Like the
Right. But
wound,
that's a part of
we
the healing process. Dressing the wound is a part of the healing process. You have to
right,
address
but in
the
order,
wound.
but as I said prior, because everyone wants to address the wound, but everyone has their own role to play. You get what I'm saying? And everyone, there's a lot who just want to be in charge. You get what I'm saying? So
All right.
in order for us as a people to heal and to get over it and be able to beat the oppressor and what they're doing, for me, I think we all need to find our fucking lane, deal with what we need to do, deal with in our lane. And once we deal with that, we can come back and put all of what we got together and then start that healing process.
All
That's
right.
just
For
how
me,
I see
it's
it.
the healing process is not from what I'm speaking on. It's not the
Mm-hmm.
collective. It's the
Mm-hmm.
individual. You personally. What's your
Mm-hmm.
journey on healing and out of from the trauma and oppression that you have endured? Me personally, my journey on my healing, self healing from oppression and trauma and everything that I've experienced in my life is not the same as how yours is. Just like how
Mm-hmm.
I would go about handling the battle of oppression in my community as well as outside of it would not be the same as how you would, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily. For me, my healing journey started not, it was like stepping outside of church and family.
Mm-hmm.
and learning who are my true kinfolk
Mm-hmm.
versus who are just my bloodkin. Learning who my relations were versus who were just there's a link. There's a link.
Mm-hmm.
Because bloodkin are relations and bloodkins aren't the same. Because I'm
Right.
related to my uncle that's married to my aunt. That's my relation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But there's,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, that's the link.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you are for me. And I had to learn that in order to start my healing journey. I had to learn
Mm-hmm.
that those who were for me, and I had to learn to let go of people because that was a big thing for me. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
like to let go of my people. Like they're mine. I'm stingy. I get real selfish and clingy. That's mine. I don't want to let it go. It's
Right.
mine. It's mine. It's mine. Like a kid. Like that kid
Mm-hmm.
nature happy go lucky energy exists still within me even as an adult. But
Right.
I had to learn to let people go because they weren't for my wellness.
Mm-hmm.
My betterment was more important to me, and more importantly, especially as a mother, I wanted to teach my children by doing
Mm-hmm.
because I often saw too often for me growing up everybody telling me what needs to be done in order to better myself, to my health, my wealth, my happiness.
Mm-hmm.
But you ain't doing this, so why am I listening to your advice?
Because
That was me
it's not
growing
for
up.
you. It's not for them. It's like at the end of the day, um, your healing is not for the betterment of others. It's for you.
Right,
It's your
right.
healing.
And I had to
So
learn on
right.
my own what was best for me versus those that were always trying to tell me, oh
Mm-hmm.
well, if you left that person alone, you would be better off. You are just doing the exact same thing to me that that person is doing to me. But because they're now in the picture, that you feel like it's taking away from you being able to
Right.
do what you've been
Right.
doing. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't take your advice because if I do, I'm letting you go too. Because what you saying is, I need to let go of all that is using me.
But you can still take the
And
advice and let them know that
right,
they fall in
you are,
within that
yeah, in
advice.
that
And
category. Right.
sorry to
But
see
I
you
had
go,
to
but
learn that. Right. I had to learn that because when I come out with stuff like that, it was immediate. Oh, I am not like that person. I did not do this. Accountability on your end is for
mm-hmm.
you, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm gonna hold you accountable on my end by letting you know this is my truth.
Right.
You can negate it to yourself, but I'm not negating it to me. I'm going to hold
Right.
myself accountable for allowing you and said other person to treat me in this way because I was afraid of letting go of my people because
Right.
I was afraid of being left alone, left behind. I had to learn to love me first and be
Mm-hmm.
okay with being with me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that process. That was my first step in my healing journey. That was the wound
Mm-hmm.
that I had to address. What was in me, my shadow work, what was in me that was so broken that I'd allow people to come and oppress me? What was in me that needed fixing that I allow people to doubt my gifts, doubt my power, doubt who I was to me?
Mm-hmm.
People trying to define me to me. I had to learn that people are going to be people,
But you
and
gotta understand also people that feel like they know you more than you know you. We have to take some type of accountability for that too because we gave them that sense
exactly
to
the
feel that way.
accountability self.
Right.
That's why I had to learn to hold me accountable for the
Mm-hmm.
things that I allow others to do to me. I get you think you know me, and that's on me. Again, I hold myself accountable. I have the
Mm-hmm.
integrity. Hey, I use look here, my military word.
So
I can read
stupid.
it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Don't do
I,
that.
I hold myself accountable. I try to maintain my integrity in everything that I'm doing in my life because
Hmm.
at my best, highest self is the goal for me.
Right. Hmm.
And to start my healing journey, I had to learn that letting people go does not mean that you will be alone.
Well,
I had
for
to,
one thing, I did change something that that made a lot of sense. Something that Queen has said. Um, you'll be chasing that healing all day. We just gonna work on the wellness. You get what I'm saying? Like for me,
right,
I'd rather just be well and in tip top shape, even though I may have a few wounds that haven't healed. You get what I'm saying? Like I know they're there.
right.
I'm going to take care of them, but there's some things that just may not heal.
Will
You
not heal. Right.
may not heal from. So for me, I don't want to be that person that's always worried
Dwelling on
about
it.
the open wounds versus how well I'm doing,
Right. I understand
regardless.
that. That I
Mm-hmm.
understand. And I did, like I said, doing my shadow work, I did looking into self, seeing what parts of me that, they're just going to be broken pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be um parts of me that don't necessarily even need to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
It is a part of who I am because I need to learn that lesson, regardless of how it came to me. I still needed to learn that lesson and I applied it. Once
Mm-hmm.
I truly understood what was being shown to me, what was being taught to me, I applied it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do say no now. Before, I was a big issue. Like, I didn't like to say no, and I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. But
Mm-hmm.
then I had to hold myself accountable. But you ain't got no problem ghosting people. You will not do. I had you ain't got no problem
I
running
would
from your problems. You
I
ain't got no
wouldn't I
problem
don't call it
running from your feelings.
I I'm for me, I don't run from my feelings, my problems, my issues anymore. I deal with them.
Right, right.
But
That's the
how
key word. Anymore.
how I deal with them, it's gonna for me to deal with whatever I have going on, it's gonna take a little seclusion for myself. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep.
And for me, I don't give a fuck who don't like it because I would rather you would rather me take this seclusion than to go Tasmanian devil. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it all day, every day. I don't care what's going on. And
All
I
right.
think that I think my family, well, the ones that I fuck with, they know that. And I told them, I said, listen, I don't give a damn what's happening, what's going on. Up until the moment of me having to walk out the door, I'm going to check in with my feelings and how I feel
Right.
about the situation. And if at any point I get a feeling that, nah, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm not going. I'm not doing it. Sorry, not sorry.
Right.
It is what it is.
That, taking that time out though to check with self, that's important. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, like I wasn't even doing that. Like when I was younger, I would even, and I'll say this right up until maybe like my 30th year, I was still willing to compromise more of myself
Mm-hmm.
in order to make others feel comfortable. I was willing to dim my own light in order to make others shine.
Mm-hmm.
I was willing to be your backbone, your support system, and everything else that you required of me. And I was willing to put me on hold for so many
Mm-hmm.
people. So when it came to the point where I was like, this is not serving me. It never did. And when that
Mm-hmm.
realization truly hit me, the moment I started taking that step of having to, all right, so this is not for me. So I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna come to the family cookout, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in coming to work functions
Mm-hmm.
outside of work hours.
Right.
Oh, you used to do it before, and I wholeheartedly agree. I
Mm-hmm.
did, but I also have the option to say no.
Right.
It's
Right.
not a
And not feel
requirement because,
guilty about saying it either.
right, I had to learn to stop feeling the guilt for changing, for wanting to change, for wanting to better myself for me, and as well as setting a better example for my children. Like,
Right.
I had
You know what I
to,
realized though? For
what?
me, how can I say this? I don't know. For me, and I've always been the person that can say no, right? But it's not about me saying no. My issue, my what I realized, how people got me to do what they wanted me to do, was they knew the love I had for them. And with that, I had to learn not to not love them any less, but
To
know how
love
to
yourself
distribute.
more?
No, because
Ah,
I still love me. I still love me. You get what I'm saying? I always
right,
loved me.
right,
But the person that I am, I let my love for others overpower my rational thinking.
right.
And for me, I had to learn to not love anymore, but dial down how, or distribute how I love a person. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, okay, even though I have lots of love, that doesn't mean that you're
Treat me
able
any
to
type of
handle
way.
all, no,
Right.
you're
I
able to
still have
handle all
boundaries.
this love.
Oh.
So, and you get what you can't handle it.
I'm, I may be too
So,
much for you.
right. So
Just
I got
let
to
it
be like,
be
okay,
known.
I love
Wait
you
a minute. Hold
still.
up. Why was that the exact line that old boy had said to Jordan in the final chapter of Best Man when she was over at that
Well, I didn't
hotel?
see the whole thing. I didn't see the whole thing.
See, she said she wanted to take him for a ride. And he told her, I don't know about all of that because I don't think you can handle the level of what I'm coming at you with. And she was like, oh, you think I can't handle it? He went and
Right.
whispered
And
in her
everyone
ear.
think,
And she was
and that's
like,
the thing.
you right. But some people think they can handle something. No,
Right. And the thing of it is,
no.
like, the level of the level of love that I give on the back end of that, if I feel like it's been misused, it comes at a very heavy price to pay, because my feelings
As
have
you
been
should.
hurt. You
As
understand
you
what I'm
should.
saying? And
Right.
it comes with a lot of stalking, a lot of cussing out, a lot of petty, a lot. Oh, it comes with a lot. You know, and it's not cute. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't like that for me. I don't like that for
Right.
me. I don't like being in that state of mind. I don't like that. You get what I'm saying? And
Right.
so for
For
me,
me, it's just a
I'm be
shutdown.
like,
I will
um,
just cut you off. I will cut you out. And to me, for me, it's like you don't exist no more. I have
yeah, but
completely wiped you.
I mean, I can I don't think I could ever. I don't think I could do that. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
got
Like,
people hating on me
even
right
if
now because I've done
I have people that I
it.
don't fuck with no more. You understand what I'm saying? I know people that I don't fuck with no more. But for me, if if they really, I don't know. I'm like, it depends. It depends. It it depends, because
I understand because I've had somebody tell me if you was really my friend, how could you walk away so easily? You crossed my
Sometimes that's what you
boundary.
got to fucking. I was told that I was mean. I was very mean, and I was mean to the point where people would tell me, well, someone had asked me to leave them alone, and when I did, I was mean. Then when I reached back out, I was then crazy and weird and all of this good shit. So I had to take a step back. Well, a question was asked, and at that moment, my light bulb went off, and I was like, yeah, I deal with you when I feel like dealing with you, if I feel like dealing with you.
Right.
And you're not going to call me mean and then like my kids did the same thing. They specifically was like, oh, we don't want you in my life and this, that, third, whatever. And when I took a step back, they was like, how could you? Like, first of all, don't ask for shit you don't want. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm sorry. I ain't doing
Don't
it.
say what we say that quite often.
I
Why
ain't
is that a
doing it.
thing
I ain't doing
often
it.
said?
Don't ask for
Don't
shit
ask
that
for
you
this if
don't want.
you really don't want to want.
Don't come
Like
over
that's just
here
asking
fucking with
questions.
my wrapping papers if you don't want the gift. And I'm being honest with you. Like, leave me the fuck alone at the end of the day. And people tend to like, if an I want a motherfucker quick. You get what I'm saying? Hey, I'm a little crazy. Hey, I love hard. Hey, don't do that. That hurt my feelings. I'm sensitive. You're not gonna like me. I'm like the Hulk. You're not gonna. I'm little, but I'm like the Hulk. And then when they do shit, when they do shit, it's just like, and then they see like, hey, okay, she does have this fucking crazy ass side or whatever. Even my family, you understand? It's not just from a love point or whatever, but
Right.
even with
No,
my
I
family,
know.
it's like, hello, I don't like that. You know, that don't feel good to me. And then when I jump out the bushes, now I'm the bitch that's crazy. Like, get the fuck out of here. You've been over here whacking at my bush all this time, and I've been telling you to stop. Now you mad because the bees don't come out.
I say that, and for me, it was because I didn't like that. I didn't like being that person, feeling like I had to be being pushed. Like I don't want to be violent, but if you push me, I'm going to defend myself.
Right.
I don't want to be pushed in that way. I don't like that type of energy. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
giving you love, what I
Love
require
me
in
back.
return is love.
It's love back. Right. Right.
I don't want the toxic love. I don't want toxicity in my life. And
Mm-hmm.
because I choose to walk away instead of cussing you out, jumping out of trees, cutting tubs, busting tires, busting
Busting
windows,
your
because I
tires.
don't choose to be what you perceive as a mad black woman is a problem. I'm cold. I've been called cold hearted. Not me. I'm cold hearted. I'm unfeeling. I don't love because you crossed my boundaries. And because I
Mm-hmm.
had the audacity to tell you that I had them in place, whether it be family, because I've had this conversation with, unfortunately, with my own mother, whether it be relationships, because, honey, I'm divorced. One marriage is
So am
enough.
I.
I mean,
I'm divorced too, but and that's crazy because he just hit me up on Facebook yesterday asking me for money. This is the same fella that when I had first moved to Atlanta, I got my place. I got my place and I was doing good for myself. Like I was doing it. I was by myself. I was doing it. I was doing it. You hear me? I was proud of me. I ain't had no car, but I was doing
right.
it. And I was like, let me try to work on my marriage one more time. So I got him to Atlanta and he was jealous of my success or
Mm.
I didn't know that I was successful, but I guess to him I was
Because
because
you
I
weren't
was working
down.
at a law office. He was working at Dollar General.
All right.
And I didn't. It wasn't that I was like, oh, you would like. I'm not that type of person. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you we gonna ride this shit till the wheels fall off. That's how I am.
Right.
But I came home one day after the day after Memorial Day weekend from work. You seen Why Them Fools Fall in Love? Huh? You ever seen the movie?
No.
Oh
No,
man.
please, no.
Okay, listen. So
Thank
in
you,
the
sir.
movie, there is a scene with Holly
I know.
Berry and Lorenz Tate. And Holly Berry was off at work doing what the hell she had to do to
And
keep her.
Vivica Fox.
No. We're not even talking about we passed that part. We towards the end of this where she came home to nothing. To her home
Right.
boarded up. I can't and when she walked in, everything was gone. That's how I
I
walked into my
remember that
home.
one.
That's how I walked into my home. And he was gone. Gone. Okay. And I'm over here applauding myself right now because I have no feelings for it. I did not get upset telling that story just now.
There you go. Cause I sure just lit a whole fire just blazed in me. My whole brain was like dead.
And it's like,
I try not to
girl,
go to the dark side, but it's there.
I'm not, oh my gosh. Like this, oh my God, I feel some, oh wow. Oh my God. That's wellness. That's
Right.
wellness.
Right.
Because I don't
See,
feel
I'm
no
not
type of
there.
way.
I'm not there. And you
I
know
feel
what?
like,
I think it's because I've never experienced something like that. I'm there when it comes down to finding out at 5 months pregnant that my at the time boyfriend slash live-in boyfriend slash baby daddy was telling another female like the car he's driving, my car, that was his. He lived with his homeboy and his homeboy's girlfriend. The kids that I had, those were not his. I was like, there's only two adults on this list. Oh,
yeah, but I
there's
mean,
only
for
two
me,
of us.
I get
Like
it.
I,
Like, and
right, I've
my
grown
mind is
from it.
blown
I've
right
moved
now.
from it. Right,
My mind is blown right now because I didn't like at the end. I'm checking in with my how I feel, telling the story or whatever, and it's like nothing. Like my mood has not changed. You understand what I'm saying? It has not changed. Like I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
and
Your petty
the
baby
fact
stays
like
locked away. She said, "I don't need to come out today."
but oh he was a dead man, and that's real talk. Like there was a time that I had it all planned out. Like real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk. You understand? Like,
See, those
and
emotions right there, those for me were what kept
mhm.
me submissive because I feared those emotions in me. Because the way my rage, it
Oh
raged
no,
so
I'm
hard
bitch.
within
I'm a
me.
runner. I'm leaving. I'm out.
Girl, the
Mm-mm.
rage within
I'm
me
not.
was
I'm not
so
that Pisces.
strong,
I'm
I
not that Pisces.
couldn't.
I am that
Right?
Pisces.
See,
I'm gone.
you gonna let that bitch out. I get it. But me, I feared that.
Fuck out of here.
I know that when my ex pushed me to the point where I felt like putting a knife in your throat, like I could see that was the scary part. I could visualize it would literally become a vision straight across my eyes where I could no longer see the actual situation that was playing out, but I'm seeing myself take your life. That scared me. The fact that I could
Oh,
see myself doing something like that scared me. The fact that I can even be pushed to those types of emotions. That scared me,
Bro, I see shit
and I
like that
held
all the
back
time
so
in
much.
my head. I'm being honest. Like I said, like that's normal for me. Like, and I'm being very, very honest for you. Like
Right.
seeing me
It is
take your
still
life,
normal for
like,
me.
but like if you fuck with me the right way, oh, trust me, oh, several times in a minuet of a second, I done saw several ways to kill your fucking ass. But
Right.
mindset, the real, like, then my real psyche clicks in and like, bitch, we ain't doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna get angry or whatever, and I'm gonna want to fight you. But yeah, I'm not. I don't.
We're gonna
Even
take it that
though
far.
it's not your life. Your life is too. Regardless of how you feel about me, and this is where I fuck up at. Regardless of how you feel about me, that's why I said I'm out. I'm gonna just fucking leave because your life is so precious to me.
Right. Like you mean something to me.
You
So
no, it's not
doing
even that.
that,
I don't even if you was a stranger. You get what I'm saying?
okay.
Unless it's like you know
Human
what
life, life in
at the
general, life in
life
general.
in general for me is precious. You get what I'm
Precious.
saying? Now
Very
don't get it
true.
twisted. So is your life is precious and so is mine. But my
Because I'm gonna put
intention
mine
is to
first.
never take someone else's life. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't give a fuck of the situation. Does it don't have like even a fight? If I'm fighting somebody, my intentions is not to take your life.
Right.
So at the end of the day, let we can hash this out in a brawl. Let we by all means let's do that. But the moment you just give
And
ill
see, when you
regard to
get
my
in the
life,
brawl, how often do you find yourself pulling your punches? Why you backed up on me?
wait, say that again because I didn't understand the question.
Pulling your punches, holding back your strength.
Oh no, oh no, I don't hold back my strength. Once I'm fighting, I'm fighting. Like, but I'm
Even
still
in the
conscious.
moment.
I'm still
Right. Because
conscious
I'm conscious,
of
I'm aware, but I have pull I won't let loose. I have never wailed on anybody. Yes, I have gone there, I've gone toe to toe, I ain't got no problem. I lay hands. But I have pulled
mhm,
my punches in the past because of my fear of I know my strength. And if I hit you
mhm.
full force, give you my full strength, baby, big or small, I'm gonna cause damage.
Right.
It's not no
The
ands, ifs,
whole
or buts
purpose
about it.
of this. Here's the thing. The whole purpose of the fight is to let you know I was there. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep it clear. The whole purpose of the fight is to let you know I was there, so that you think twice the next time.
All right.
By all
And see, I
means,
didn't.
okay.
I was that wasn't my mindset. I didn't care. I
I'm not
wasn't
trying to kill
for
you, but please
right,
understand: if you're trying to kill me, I'm gonna try to kill you.
right.
By all means.
And me, I saw a lot. It was a lot of fear for me. Like if I honestly let myself loose on people, the way my mind sees it playing out, not even as okay, I want to take this person's life. No, I want to beat your ass. I
Right.
want to beat
I just want to whoop
your
your
ass
ass. Let me whoop your ass
because
right
you
quick
damn
and just
so deserve this ass whooping. No, I don't like that. I don't like being violent, but I tell people don't get it twisted. I am a lover and a fighter because to me, you better be willing to. If you're willing to love, you better be willing to fight.
for me,
And that's
for
to
me,
me. But I'm like, I
sometimes,
don't want to have to fight. I don't want to. Don't push me there. I
right,
don't want to be pushed. I want to love. Let me love.
right,
Let me
right.
give
I
love.
love love. I love love. You understand?
Right.
I feel like for me, the fighting shouldn't be with us. It should be for the oppressor. Like that's just what I feel like. At the end of the day, when it boils down to it, the shit that us, whether it's family, friends, or as a
A
whole,
community.
as a
Hmm.
right as a community, we fighting the wrong fight. You get what I'm saying?
Fighting the
We
wrong
are
damn
fighting the
people.
wrong fight. Like we more
Right.
worried
Like,
about Lua Prada Gucci and popping them tags and who like at the end of the day that means nothing. If you Louis you popping tags and you still got roaches. Like
it's the priorities for me.
it's the part you know, I'm just saying, you know, we can't pop them tags when you got
Oh,
roaches.
oh,
You know,
wait,
things like
hold
that.
up. Like, I understand having your tag. I understand flaunting your shit. I don't
No, I'm just
understand.
saying. No, it's not even
Like,
about. It's
right. Like,
just
I
I feel
don't
like we just
understand
fighting the wrong fight.
right. I give you
We just
that. I
fighting the wrong fight because
wholeheartedly.
us as women we fighting each other. When you got roaches in your kitchen, you need to be fighting. These old
Like,
pressures too.
fight them roaches. You need to be
Fight
going
the
over there to fight
roaches.
them roaches.
You need to fight the roaches. Not only do you need to fight the roaches now, but seriously, not only do you need to not worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like we have so many other things that we need to be focused on. Like real talk. Like
Right.
as a family, as a community, as a black community, you know, we it's just so much that we need to be fighting others versus ourselves. For real.
Right.
You get
Show
what I'm saying?
love to the community. Show
The one
love
thing
to the
though
family.
I am gonna say when it
Hmm.
comes to that as a black community, because I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, this is our land," and this, that, and the third, or whatever. Is not our land. This ain't our land.
Right. Like, don't get me
Yes,
wrong.
we
I
worked
know.
it. And yes,
Right.
we have now outnumbered the people that originally were here,
Right.
but
Like,
it's
I
not
know
ours either.
that they were the indigenous black folk they are indigenous black folk to this land. But
Hmm.
for the most of us, that's not our background. That's not our ancestors' history. They were not already here. We were over there. And that's why I keep speaking of earlier, the oppression within
I don't get like for
community.
me, I don't get how we're like, oh, but what about our 40 acres and a mule? Like at the end of the day, even if they were to give us land, it's not ours to give. Before you give us any fucking thing, make sure you give who was here first.
All
And
right. Rest in
not
peace.
to be funny, I'm being so
I
honest.
want the money
And you know who's at the
instead.
top of that list of not only do we talk about Americans, the ones that we know, if we start bringing back some of our Mexicans back to their native land, you get what I'm saying? We holding them on a wall. You get what I'm saying? Like this is their land. This is the Mexicans' land. You get what I'm saying? If we really like we really gotta pay
The
attention to that
indigenous
this
folks, the indigenous folks that were here, they're called indigenous for a
for a
reason.
reason.
Right? Like Miss Max, can you give us the definition? Like you the queen of the definition. Folks don't understand
What
the definition of
indigenous?
indigenous. Yes. Because I don't think people truly understand native and indigenous folk.
Okay,
This
so for
wasn't for
indigenous, originating or occurring naturally in a particular place, native. If you hear anybody yelling, that's just my neighbor calling his dog. What does native mean?
we have escapee dogs around here all day, every day. And they always seem to escape to my house. I be like, you gotta go home, right? I'm not for dog napping, not for puppy napping, for kitty napping. I'm not for animal napping. You're not supposed to get me in trouble. I would love to keep you, but you gotta own it. You got to go home.
Okay, so
It
I'm
is
trying
so
to see
funny.
what's the difference between native and difference between native
Indigenous,
and
I feel like
indigenous.
there are synonyms, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hmm. So for those of us whose ancestors were forcibly brought over here, our native lands are back in Africa. This is not our country. This is the indigenous and the native. This is their country.
Mm-hmm.
For those who's the oppressors, this is not your land.
Couldn't
Your
agree.
ancestors came and took from others. Those they didn't kill outright physically, the
What time you gotta get
diseases
your
and everything
baby?
they three. I got a whole nother hour.
Okay.
Girl. And I'm just walking to meet them at the front. Look, I'm honestly just walking to meet my son at the front because my daughter have been done left me telling them she ain't finna wait.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
you can't sit with your mama? No?
So,
Okay, fine. Look,
but
they
we are
growing up
gonna
too fast.
wrap it up a little bit here. We've
But
been
yes, yes.
gone for 2 hours.
Right, we've been
Yes.
out here for an hour
But
and 40 minutes.
had this
The technical
act right the first
difficulties,
time, we wouldn't have even had this issue,
the
right?
technical difficulties were real in the beginning, but we got it together. And I'm just saying, now
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
we as we continue the path of healing, everybody is going on the journey of healing um, in a different manner for themselves as individuals. Finding your path of healing as an individual is, to me, a key stepping stone to becoming a part of a collective healing.
Mm, yes.
But you
Hmm.
need to heal self first.
Yes, absolutely. Because you
So
can't help a wounded soldier can't help another wounded soldier, and that's just
right, I
facts.
can't fix your refrigerator. I'm gonna hand you the tools
Exactly.
behind me while you fix your own refrigerator, and I'm gonna be on the other side fixing my own. We can fix our refrigerators
Hello.
together, but
Right.
you got to fix your refrigerator first, boo, before you can be
Right.
even trying to bother doing. Now we can do it together and hand each other the tools, but
Right.
baby, don't sit up here and depend on others to come and fix your refrigerator.
Right. I agree.
Now
Totally agree.
next week.
What
What we talking on next week? We
next week
speaking
we
on
have gender
is it
differences.
right? Is it really exclusion or y'all
Right.
just being messy?
Exactly.
We gonna talk
Exactly.
about it. We
We're
gonna
gonna
talk
talk about
about
it
it.
from Pisces'
Right.
point of view. Thank you again for joining
Yes,
and
we have had a
watching.
pleasure. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
and again, I am Miss Max.
And I'm Jewel Goddess, and it's been a pleasure. Ashe.
I'm not even saying it because I ain't offending nobody. Everyone be
Right.
blessed.
No. Yeah, y'all have a good one.
Peace.